Hi, I recently watched Mona Lisa, Neil Jordan's 1986 gangster film set in London's gangland. It forms kind of a trifecta with Get Carter and The Long Good Friday of the three great British gangster pictures, and unites the two leads of the other two pictures, Bob Hoskins and Michael Caine. Hoskins plays George, a recently released ex-con, who manages to get a job for his old boss, played by Michael Caine, driving a high-class call girl around, played by Cathy Tyson. In time, the two of them gradually develop a bond, and he ta- she is tasked. She tasks him with seeking out an old friend of hers who, last she knew, was still on the game, plying her trade near King's Cross, from which she had previously been plucked for better things. But as he continues to investigate, George discovers that more is at play and that there are more dimensions going on than he expects, whilst also spending time with his de facto landlord, a car mechanic played by Robbie Coltrane, and trying to repair his relationship with his estranged teenage daughter. It's a complex film, both in plot terms and emotionally, and the glue that holds the whole thing together is Hoskins' performance. He was Oscar nominated for this, it was his only Oscar nominated role, and he's really superb. George is a simple and straightforward man drawn into complex situations. Um, He's loyal, but his loyalties are not rewarded. He is honest, but he's working in a criminal environment. He has a sense of humor, but is frequently called on to do tough, dark things. He feels like a fully rounded and very engaging character, and I really enjoyed watching him on screen. Caine, too, is at the top of his game and one of his best performances. This is the period, I think, where he had ceased to be a leading man and was taking on a range of complex character parts. And as a result, his character is unpleasant, sleazy, manipulative. There is a whole criminal scheme he has going on elsewhere of blackmailing senior public figures uh, who are clients of his various call girls. And uh, we are only seeing George's story within all this. There is a whole criminal world that's going on. By the end of the film, George has managed to separate himself from all of this and actually find a happy ending. He and his friend, played by Robbie Coltrane, decide to go into business together, and the relationship with the daughter is developing in a very positive way. Um, Only by escaping the clutches of this horrible, seedy underworld of exploitation and abuse can George really find happiness, finally escaping from the burdens of responsibility and obligation that he's had to live within his whole adult life. It's a brilliantly written script by Neil Jordan, superbly directed, excellent performances across the board. It's a really superb film. It's no surprise at all that it was produced by Handmade, which is, I've said many times before on these videos and on the podcast, the keystone of British cinema in the 1980s. They were really the only game in town making excellent films in a range of genre on tight budgets, but with superb creative input. In the early 90s, they finally fell apart just as the British film industry was undergoing a revival, thanks to the likes of Four Weddings and a Funeral and Shallow Grave. This is, I think, one of their best works, one of their most serious works as well, alongside A Long Good Friday. And I'd recommend it very highly indeed.